Welcome back, Tiger fans, to Rock M Radio's football podcast. I'm Nate Edwards. That's Nathan Hurst. This is Before the Box Score, your Thanksgiving edition. Hope you are enjoying the, hopefully you have an extended weekend. Hope you're enjoying it. If you are traveling, please travel safe. Hope everything goes well. If you are with family, hope that goes great. If you are by yourself, rock and roll, baby. Hope you're having a great one. But we are going to be coming to you with a Thanksgiving edition of Beyond the Box Score. We're going to talk about the game this week, everything that's leading up to it, honoring the seniors, and then, of course, a little bit of turkey talk. Nathan Hurst, how are you doing?
Doing all right. I'm already a day into just absolutely gorging myself. So we're one day down, one day to go, the bigger day to go. So, my stomach is stretched out to its maximum capacity in preparation. We're ready to hit the ground running.
Yeah, I am fasting. I'm fasting until it's Thanksgiving time so I can stuff my face full of mashed potatoes and King's Hawaiian rolls. Can't wait. It's going to be delicious. But we've got things to talk about before we get to that point. We got updates coming up for the team. We want to start on the injury side. Now, let's talk a little bit about the happiness. When this news broke, I thought we already knew it, but everyone was very happy about it, so we're going to talk about it anyway. Connor Tollison, still injured. He is not coming back. Like his season is done. That has not changed. He is coming back for next year. And I remember when Eli Drinkwitz talked about the injury, he said that they, anticipate Connor to come back. They expected him to come back for the next year. And I thought that was the news. So when it officially came out that he was coming back, it did not make a huge ripple with me. But obviously, it's great to have your multi-year starting center come back, even with the fun snapping issues that he had last year. So Nathan Hurst, one more year of Connor Tollison. We're feeling pretty good, right?
Oh, yeah, it's great. I mean, you love to anchor your offensive line with what will be a fifth or sixth. It'll be this fourth year starting, fifth year in the program. By far be the most experienced guy on the offensive line. Even if Armand Membu returns, Tollison will still have a year on him in terms of experience. And he's a guy that's really developed over the course of the year, course of his career. His freshman year, just way undersized, not ready for that level. Sophomore year, better, but had a lot of snapping problems, as you mentioned. This year has become one of, if not the best centers in the entire SEC. So if he's assuming he's able to recover from knee surgery, which he's already had and already started that rehab process, if he's able to come back 100%, there's no reason to think that he won't be the best center in the SEC next year and be a second day pick, a draft pick. Right? That's kind of where he's projected. And if he had been healthy this year, he probably would have been a second day pick this year had he chose to go out. I don't know if he was going to go one way or another, injured or healthy, but we got him back for one more year. So that's great news for Mizzou. Hope he can rehab well, get back up and running, and be ready for fall camp.
Absolutely. No, I mean, he's played in 37 games and he started 35. So this is a dude who's got a ton of experience, 2,284 snaps to be specific. If you want to compare that, Marcus Bryant, the fifth-year graduate starter at left tackle, has 3,004. Of course, Cameron Johnson, who's graduating, has got 2,955. So he is very, very experienced. Even if he doesn't play another snap this year, which he won't, and comes back next year, which he will, that's a ton. That's a ton of playing. And the fact that this is the first time that he's really been seriously injured and missed extended period of time is luck, but also he's just a tough dude. So very excited to have him back. Very excited to have that experience back in the center, especially when you're probably going to be breaking in a couple new guys along that offensive line. So
and a new quarterback more likely than not as well. Yep. And an experienced center can make the life of a quarterback a lot easier if they're trying to learn a new offense. And you got your guy in the middle of the line that can make some calls for you, maybe take a little bit off the quarterback's plate so they're not having to set all the protections and everything like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that is good news. Obviously, Drake Heismeyer is still going to be the starting center for this game, which is also good. He's been doing well. But we got the updated injury report that came out tonight. And the injuries for Arkansas are thus. Cornerback Shamar McNeil is listed as out. Offensive lineman Logan Reichert is listed as out. Long snapper Brett LeBlanc listed as out. Let's put a pin in that one. And then running back Juan Lacey will be questionable. Hurst kind of seems like a bad idea to have your starting line snapper be out. What the heck's happening here?
Yeah, you never want that. I mean, I can't speak to the backup long snapper. Thankfully, we have yet to see him, and if he's up to task, we're going to learn that sooner than later. But especially, and we'll get to the weather report soon. But the weather's not going to be great this weekend, and so breaking in a new long snapper with some conditions that will be less than favorable doesn't sound like a recipe for a lot of success. So.
No.
That might, it could be a blessing in disguise if that convinces Drinkwitz to be a little more a little less field goal happy, if he's a little less confident in the process of getting the field goal off cleanly. But if you're in a dogfight in a close game, coming down the wire and you need a 35-yard field goal to tie or to win it, you really would like to have your best team out there to do that. And so that could be a little hairy if this game's as close as I think it might be.
Yeah. I believe it's either Trey Flint or Jack Couts who is the backup for the long snapping duties, but whoever it is, yeah, good luck. Please do well, especially in the cold. Kwan Lacey being out, obviously not great, but he is definitely the fourth guy in the rotation, behind Nate Noel, behind Marcus Carroll, behind Jamal Roberts. So, if this gets into blowout territory, he probably won't be used, or he missed snaps in there. Or if one of them were to get injured and he needs to rotate in, we would have one less back to do that. Tahoris Jones is right behind Kwan Lacey, so it's not that they don't have somebody to fill in, especially somebody who's got experience. But, he's also questionable. This could very well turn around to be a totally fine thing. And we don't even notice it, and we're good to go. So, of course, regarding Shamar McNeil, Logan Reichert, I don't know what happened, if you all bumped heads or just, just bumps and bruises throughout the year. But losing depth is not great, but you didn't really see those guys rotated in a ton. They're still pretty young, so not good, but you're probably not going to notice that they are out, or at least for this year. So
yeah.
Should be good.
Shamar was playing in the special teams, so I'm not sure if he got injured last week in the special teams, whether it's kickoff coverage, kickoff blocking, punt coverage, something like that. He did see the field quite a bit on those special teams. Logan Reichert, maybe I think he's probably in on the field goal team, so that might be where he got dinged up. That or practice, it's hard to say, but neither of those guys we're gonna factor in, majorly, unless there were significant injuries in the Arkansas game. They're pretty far down on the depth chart.
Yeah. And I will admit I do not pay a ton of attention to special teams and special team snaps. I should, but I don't. So yeah, maybe that's the secret to success, via special teams, but we will see. So Missouri on Saturday. Again, it is Saturday. Yes, it stinks, but that is part of moving to ESPN away from CBS. Missouri will be playing Arkansas on Saturday. It will be senior day. It is the last time for a good chunk of seniors that are going to be graduating this year. But let's go through them real quick. We'll go alphabetical order as far as I can tell. Let's go through it. We got punter Luke Bauer, backup quarterback J.R. Blood, offensive lineman Marcus Bryant, wide receiver Luther Burden, put a pin in that one, running back Marcus Carroll, safety Joseph Charleston, cornerback Marcus Clark, wide receiver Mookie Cooper, linebacker Corey Flagg, long snapper Trey Flint, offensive lineman Drake Heismeyer, offensive lineman Cameron Johnson, safety Trevez Johnson, backup running back Chris Cray, offensive lineman Jack Mayer, defensive lineman Joe Moore, linebacker Tristan Newson, running back Nate Noel, linebacker Will Norris, tight end Tyler Stevens, offensive lineman Mitchell Walters. And of course, we have safety Sidney Williams too, but the big ones are going to be quarterback Brady Cook, linebacker Chuck Hicks, defensive lineman Johnny Walker Jr., wide receiver Theo Weiss Jr., and defensive tackle and captain Christian Williams. That's a lot of dudes, man. I don't think I realized they were going to get rid of that many guys. A lot of starters, a lot of guys who played. Kudos to them, but that's a lot, right? That feels like a lot.
That's a lot of experience. I mean, you count 20, I think it's 27 names, and easily 20 of them are significant contributors to this team in terms of the amount of snaps that they get. So that's a lot of players, not just a lot of bodies, but a lot of experience. Not just this year, but years of experience playing for Mizzou and other places as well. So there's going to be a big hole on this roster to fill next year, and it's going to be filled not just with the incoming class, but they're going to have to find some transfers to fill some of these very large holes that will be left as well.
Yeah, I mean that's your starting punter. That's a starting receiver because that is Luther Burden. A starting safety. You have 2 starting offensive linemen. You have rotational safeties, and of course, they play a ton of guys on defense, so that's not great. Wow, actually, no, because Tristan Newsom too. So you got both linebackers. Yeah, your 6th offensive lineman, your quarterback, your best defensive end, your best receivers, defensive. Like, man, that's a ton. I mean, when we talk about what Missouri is going to do when they get into the transfer portal, I think first and foremost is going to be quarterback, and really number 2 is always going to be offensive lineman, because if there's just an opportunity to add a great offensive lineman, you're going to do it no matter what. But now you're looking at this, okay, safety probably up there, linebacker probably up there, edge rusher you probably would like to have one. I mean, not to say that we can just overlook the guys who are already on the roster that we haven't seen yet. Obviously, they can contribute just as well. But if you're looking for insurance, like that's a pretty long laundry list, especially compared to this time last year.
Yeah, I mean, all three levels of the defense are going to take massive hits from graduation and attrition. So they're going to have to do some heavy lifting, bringing in people on all 3 levels, as you mentioned. Secondary for sure, linebackers for sure, defensive line, whether it's edge rushers, probably both edge rushers and interior defensive line, losing Christian Williams. It's going to be a different team. When they're removing a quarter, more than a third of the players off the team through graduation, it's going to be a different team next year for sure.
Yeah. And of the seniors, of the guys who are actually seniors, Luke Bauer, Drake Heismeyer, Chris Cray, I know is a walk-on. Jack Mayer, I know is a walk-on. Will Norris, Mitchell Walters, Brady Cook, Johnny Walker. Those are the only 8 guys who started their career at Mizzou and are going to graduate from Mizzou. And 3 of those are walk-ons. So it's a different era. It really is. And, especially shout out to Drake and Will, guys who just did not see the field all that much in their specific role. Obviously, Drake Heismeyer was kind of the middle blocker for punt teams. Will Norris is on special teams. We know he's on special teams because the NCAA had to make a new damn rule about him, about tackling the punter. So they didn't really carve out a role in what they were recruited to do as far as their position. But they stayed and they played. And I know Will hasn't really seen a whole lot of snaps this year, but here's Drake starting his last couple games of the year. This is not a value statement. This is just an appreciation, for the guys who stuck it out and are now seeing kind of some recognition there. That's cool. It's not how the game usually is played now, but it's still very cool to see.
Mitchell Walters as well. I mean, he's played throughout his career, but very sparingly. And finally this year, he's maybe started 1 or 2 games, but played a lot of snaps kind of in a rotational basis with Caden Green. So great to see a guy like that, stick around and finally find the field significantly his last year as well.
Yeah. Now, their whole tradition of grabbing a rock after your last game, I know Gary Pinkel, win or lose, you got to take a rock. I think Eli's in you only take a rock if you win, if I remember correctly. So now the good news is that they have won senior day pretty much every single time that he has been here. So that's good for them. But it's going to be a tough test, man. Here comes Arkansas, and they're not South Carolina. They're not the hottest team in the nation. They have a pelt. They have, a top 10 victory over Tennessee at the time. But they are not, they are not as intimidating as they have been in the past, but they are very feisty and they're very dangerous. I broke down the Arkansas matchup today. Just looking at it, heading into this game, Nathan Hurst, other than the fact that just Mizzou can only play close games, what are you most concerned about going up against Arkansas?
I'm concerned about Taylor Green running around and being hard to tackle
Sure.
and making some plays. We saw this Mizzou defense, get hurt by Lenore Sellers doing that a couple weeks ago. I don't think Green is he's not as strong. He's as tall as the Lenore Sellers, not as thick, not as strong, not as hard to tackle, but he might be a little faster, longer legs, longer stride than Sellers. So that is the one worry I have, is if this defense has trouble wrapping him up, bringing him down, he can scramble around a little bit. He can find a receiver or two downfield for some big plays. This defense likes to give up big plays. So it would be, just messing around and finding out and letting him hit a big play or two. And maybe it happens late in the game at the wrong time when it's a close game, and that can come back to hurt you.
Yeah. Taylor Green's a very interesting weapon. Does not have a very good completion percentage. It's a hair over 60%. But his yards per completion is really good, 13.1. And his success rate when throwing is great too, 46%. So like it's very scatter shot, but when he connects, it really hurts. And to your point as a runner, I mean, right now, if you take out sacks, he has 99 rushes for 658 yards and 7 touchdowns. That's great. 6.65 yards per rush. That's great. A 52% success rate running the ball. That's great. He gets a first down on 40% of his carries. That's great. Scary stuff. But let's look on the flip side. The percentage of rushes that go for 0 yards or less, 36%. He gets blown up in the backfield a lot. Yards before contact is 1.13, so you can hit him early. And then his yards after contact is 2.2. So like you get a hand on him, he's not going very far, and you can usually get a hand on him fairly quickly. It's just that if you don't, he's going pretty far. And this is, spoiler alert, this is a top, what did I say? Top 5? Yeah, this is the 5th best rushing attack in the country. 5th best. Did you even conceive of that heading into this game?
No, it's kind of by committee. I mean, Green, as you mentioned, has 600 plus yards. Jacundon Jackson has 700 yards. Their second running back, Davinian, has 320. Third running back has 300 yards. So they've got 4 guys with more than 300 yards on the ground. I would never have guessed they were a top 5 rushing team. Yeah. But I guess the stats don't lie.
Yeah, I mean, if they yards per rush is 5.9, that's 16th in the country. Their opportunity rate, like the amount of times they get 4 yards, is 56%. That is 7th in the nation. 5th overall in success rate. Like they are not the most explosive rushing team, but it works really, really well when they do. So that's not great. And in my preview, I said that they're kind of the Arkansas offense is like a better version of Missouri's offense. They're better runners. They're slightly better passers, but they still have the same issues, right? Like they don't want to throw the ball. It's like, again, 60% completion rate. Yeah, you can do better, right? You can do better if you run the ball, and get 50% instead of 46. So that's what they want to do. The good thing about this is that even though they are really good maximizing their points, running the ball, they're not very great at passing, which is cool. And you know what? Their offensive line stinks.
They're very bad at pass protection. They're good at run blocking team. They cannot block and protect and give him time to pass.
They got 4-star maulers all across that offensive line. And if they have to drop back to pass, they just fall on their butts, I guess. I'm going to read this off. This is incredible to me. Their pass rush, their pass protection against the pass rush is awful. Their blitz down sack rate. So like if you're in an obvious blitz down, what is the sack rate in that situation? You want that as low as possible, no matter what, but certainly in blitzes, it's 17%. That's 133rd in the country. Sacks per dropback, 107th. Pressure rate, 104th. They give up pressures 35% of the time, Nathan Hurst. Sacks per pressure, 24%. That's awful. They're giving up, they're 105th in standard down sack rate. They're 106th in passing down sack rate. Like if they are dropping back to pass, you are getting pressure and you're probably sacking the quarterback. So run defense, here's your big test. Like you've been good all year. You really need to be good this game, because the one way you can knock them out is get them to pass and have them screw up that way. And I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's what has to happen.
Yeah, it they're kind of a weird team. Like you look at a lot of the things, a lot of the stats, and you think this team should be better than they are. They should have more wins than they do. They've got 6 wins or 6-5. They have one really good win, one win that's better than any of Mizzou's wins in beating Tennessee at home. That was a really weird game where their defense played well, and really I think Tennessee's offense played terribly.
Mm.
Other than that, like they've kind of beaten who they should have beaten and lost to who they should have lost to. But in weird ways, it's strange. Like this is a team that could easily be 8-3, just like Mizzou. If a couple other, if the Texas A&M game, who they played Texas A&M very closely, if they don't fumble the ball in their own 10 and give Texas A&M an easy touchdown, that game may very well have been flipped and they win that game. Texas, they played in Austin very strong. Their defense played really well anyway. Their offense couldn't move the ball on a very good Texas defense, but it was a 20-10 game. So that was really close. But then they turn around and get smoked by Ole Miss, 63 points to Ole Miss, which is by far the most Ole Miss has scored against any SEC team. Then they smoked Mississippi State, which they should have done. Barely beat UAB, which was weird. So they really didn't even look that impressive against Louisiana Tech, who's a terrible team. 35-14, which is a 3-score game, but not really. They should have won that by significantly more playing at home. So just a weird team. So it's hard to get a real grasp on what they are, what they are going to do, how they're going to come out and play. I'm really at a loss for kind of exactly how I think this game's going to go. I'm not really sure.
Well, I mean, they've had 1, 2, 3. They have had 3 true road games. They had a neutral site against Texas A&M, so that's 4. And then this is their 5th game away outside of Arkansas. That seems crazy. How many does Mizzou have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. Okay. Yeah, they lost to Oklahoma State on the road. They lost to Texas A&M in a neutral site. They did beat Auburn on the road, which everybody beats Auburn. And then they won against Mississippi State. So, I mean, this is their toughest true road game. Missouri is, because Oklahoma State stinks, Mississippi State stinks, and then Texas A&M was neutral site. So, yeah,
yeah, and that's right. The game against Texas wasn't in Austin; it was in Fayetteville. Yeah, you're right. So they lost in double overtime to a really bad Oklahoma State team. We didn't know that at the time how bad Oklahoma State was, but it's turned out that's a horrible team. So they really should have won that game. They had a big lead and blew it late. So this team is not good in close games. They did pull out and beat Tennessee, but they lost by 10 to Texas. They lost by 4 to A&M. All their other wins have been by significantly more than by 2 scores or more. So the only game that they've won that was close was that Tennessee game. If it's a close game, they're probably going to drop it.
1 and 2 in 1-score games. Yep.
And that goes back into last year. They were like 0-8 or 0-7 in 1-score games last year.
They were comically snake bitten last year too. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I mean, I think they want to run the ball much like Missouri does. I think they want to, I don't think they want to play ball control, but like they are kind of the mirror image of Missouri on offense, which is strange. The other thing that they are not very good at is protecting the ball. They should have 23 turnovers. They have 20. So while they are lucky that they don't have as many as 23, they're also very bad because they have 20. And their defense is only forced 13 turnovers on the other side. So they're -7 on the year. For all of Missouri's defensive wards. They're really good at if there's a fumble, they're usually on it. They don't get a lot of interceptions, but the offense plays usually pretty well at protecting the ball, and the defense it can be opportunistic when the chance presents itself. So, I mean, get sacks and turn them over like that. Johnny Walker, hello, have yourself a great senior day. Christian Williams, hi, have a great senior day. This is your chance to shine, especially if you can get them into passing downs. Now, on the flip side, Arkansas's defense is very good. It's competent. It is efficient. They don't create havoc plays. Now that's not a bad thing, right? Like think of Alabama's defenses or Georgia's defenses, like they're kind of amoebas that just kind of swarm to the ball and stop you, right? Like they don't give up anything. It's not super havocy, but they don't give up anything, and that's kind of what Arkansas is. Um, but also at the same time, like boy, you might not want to run on them a lot, which that's we understand that. But you can pass on them. You can pass on them all day. And again, that's not what Missouri wants to do. But this secondary is fairly inexperienced in there. Not very good. They're like 99th in passing success rate. So Luther Purden, you're being honored on senior day. Theo Weiss, you're getting out of here. This is your chance to have a day because this secondary is not good. Not good.
Yeah, I mean, and they really only have one pass rusher that really scares you in Landon Jackson, and he's good. He has 6.5 sacks. He can get to the quarterback if you're not careful. But outside of him, there's not a whole lot of other guys that scare you from a pass rush standpoint. The team kind of reminds you a little bit of South Carolina in that they're good against the run, not against the pass. Mizzou ended up being able to do both against South Carolina. So I'm not, though South Carolina certainly is better at pass rushing by far than Arkansas is. I think that Mizzou can run the ball on this team. I mean, this team is a good run defense team, but Mizzou can run against good. They've shown that they can run the ball. That they're going to try do it until eventually it works well enough. Even Oklahoma, they had close to 40 carries, and Oklahoma is a much better run defensive team than Arkansas is. So I think they can run. I mean they're certainly going to try. We know they're going to try to run. I think they're going to be able to do it well enough. Especially with, and we kind of tease it ahead of time, but the conditions for this game are not going to be conducive to throwing the ball downfield. Yep. It's going to be cold. I think the high right now is 31 degrees. There is a chance of snow, which I have never seen a game in Columbia with snow. So that would be very fun. I couldn't tell you the last time. It's been before I ever started following Mizzou that there's been a snow game in Columbia. And 1 to 3 inches is the current forecast. Wow. So if there's 1 to 3 inches of snow on the ground, you're not going to be throwing the ball downfield, and it's going to turn into a who can run the ball and who can not keep the ball from hitting the ground when they run the ball, and it'll be a field position game. And I like Mizzou in a field position game like this. I think overall Mizzou is built better to win that type of game because that's the type of game that Eli Drinkwitz wants to win to begin with. And I don't think that's the type of game Bobby Petrino wants to call. Maybe he's had to this year because that's who he has on his team, but that's not the type of game that he wants to call, even if they've had to. So I like Mizzou's chances in that type of game, but I think it'll be a low-scoring, gross, one possession game. Either way, whoever makes the most mistakes is gonna be on the wrong end of it. And Arkansas has proven that they're willing to make more mistakes, at least with turnovers, than Mizzou is so far.
I'm saying 21-17 Missouri, and it's going to be ugly and gross, like you said, and you're going to want to die the entire time. But this is what this team is built for. This is what Eli Drinkwitz loves. It's senior day. It's Columbia. Missouri has never lost to Arkansas in Columbia, Missouri. Like, let's not start now. 21-17. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that sounds about right, especially because if we're having a backup long snapper, I'm hoping that means we're not taking a lot of 48-yard field goals, which have already proven to be an inefficient choice this season so far. So especially in the snow, I can't imagine that's going to be on the top of Drinkwitz's to-do list. I mean, I would even be in favor of, if you've got the lead, maybe it's a 1-score lead, and you got the ball on the 38-yard line, and it's a 4th and 8. Punt it. Put the ball on the 3-yard line. Make them go 90 yards in the snow, which I think I like the defense's chances to stop. So this would be the type of conditions against the type of game where you're okay being a little more conservative in terms of pinning them deep if it's going to be that much harder to go 95 yards to score, because they're going to have just as much trouble kicking it as Mizzou will in those conditions.
Yeah. Well, I told you to put a pin in Luther Burden. We're going to revisit now. He is going to be honored on senior day. He is not a senior. He's a third-year junior. He has not officially said he's going, but I mean, come on, he's probably gone. He
He
he's
has to go.
projected to be a first round draft pick.
He needs to go. He
Yeah,
should go. He would
yeah,
be getting bad advice from whoever would be giving it to him if he was to stay.
yeah.
I don't care about NIL. Yes, I'm sure that they would find money to pay him a significant amount of money to come back. But whatever that is, it's going to pale in comparison to whatever his second contract in the NFL is going to be. And the sooner he goes, the sooner he gets to that second contract, and the more likely he gets there healthy.
Exactly. And frankly, his impact at this point would be better in the NFL for Missouri than to come back for another year. Because I mean, the myth, the shorter you're here, the bigger the myth can be, right? Like to prove 4 years of whatever, like, yeah, maybe he could improve again, but like he's been ready to go since last year. It's just the rules of the NFL say that you can't. So I know he did not have the final year that we all anticipated. He did not replicate what he did in 2023 for a myriad of reasons. But he should go. And if he doesn't want to play the bowl game, good. You shouldn't play the bowl game. You should just get ready for the draft. He is. It is hard to quantify his impact because the on field and the off the field are similar but two different things. Obviously, for an entire year, he was Missouri's best receiver in 2023. And in 2020 and 22, he was getting acclimated. And this year he's been double teamed and dealing with an injured quarterback. But I think, we've talked about legacy with a lot of players and with coaches and stuff like that. But for Luther Burden, and I know we've talked about this before, but Luther Burden's impact to this school was the fact that he came here in the first place. Because for so long, Missouri has struggled with recruiting St. Louis. This goes back all the way to the Pinkel and Smith days. And the fact that he was such a high-profile player from St. Louis that came here, Hurst, you're never going to know exactly, but how many players does Mizzou miss out on if Luther Burden does not come to Mizzou?
Yeah, I mean, a lot. And not just high school recruits, but transfer portal guys too, that see a 5-star, top echelon elite talent and say, hey, that's a place for me too. I can go and play with that guy. He made it cool to come to Mizzou. All right. And that's not just for guys from St. Louis, and hopefully it continues to be the case for guys from St. Louis, but he made it cool for anybody to come to Mizzou. And that's the impact that he's had. And has been and will continue to be far outshine his substantial on the field impact, which has been great. He has been a top 5, top 6 all-time Mizzou receiver on the field just based on his production. But his off the field impact, I think, has been stronger because it will continue on past his time here at Mizzou. It wasn't just the 3 years he's been here, but it will carry on because he was a proof of concept for Eli Drinkwitz in many ways. And that will continue on. And when he gets drafted in the first round, he say, look, you're an elite guy. You can come here just like Luther did. You can make NIL money just like Luther did. You can get drafted in the first round just like Luther did. You don't have to go to Ohio State to do that. You don't have to go to Oklahoma to do that. You can stay home and do that right here and look like a badass while you do it, because there's never been a single moment in Luther Burden's career at Mizzou where he did not look like an absolute badass. And he did that in black and gold. And so he has shown that you can do that. And it is a really cool place to do that at. So thank you to him for his services. In fact, I would be quite upset with him if he chose to come back. I think he should go. He needs to go that's best for him to do that. And I'm sure he will. I'm confident that will be the ultimate decision that he makes.
Yeah. It's best for Mizzou from national prestige. It's good for the roster. Get some of these younger receivers up there. And it's good for him. He needs to be in the NFL playing because that's where he belongs. He needs to be up there Sunday night, Luther Burden, MIZ, like every time. And yeah, man, he's great. And I don't care, I really don't care what the numbers were. He is one of the better receivers we've ever seen, even from a production standpoint, certainly from a prestige standpoint. But go make your money, man. Let's go sit out the bowl. You've done enough. You've done good work. And he seems to like it here too. That's the other thing. Like, I know he had that moment his freshman year when he purged all Mizzou stuff from his social media. And I know he can be a little dramatic on the field at times, but he seems to really like it here. And of course, putting his face on a bag of chips and being the emo spokesperson and hawking apparel with gymnasts. Like, yeah, man, like he's had a good 3-year run. It's time for him to go.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
lived the dream. He's lived the
yeah,
college dream for sure.
absolutely. Yeah. So salutes, tip of the cap, all that good stuff. I hope he gets a good moment, which I'm sure he will on senior day, and I hope he's able to ball out because it's the last time you're going to see him. I'm pretty sure, at least in a Mizzou uniform. So it is Wednesday. It is the day before Thanksgiving. Everybody's got their own preference. Thanksgiving, in my opinion, is the greatest American holiday of all time. It's going to fall in your rankings however you want it, but I'm not here to argue. I'm here to state my opinion. So I'm very excited that tomorrow is Thanksgiving. And it's just an opportunity to eat delicious food. Now, I had a co-host from last year who told me that I actually don't like Thanksgiving food because he's a gaslighter and a jerk. But I'll tell you, I love turkey. I love mashed potatoes. I love gravy. I love stuffing. I don't know, Hurst. Give me your general oeuvre of Thanksgiving and what you like to put in your face.
Well, so first of all, I will go farther beyond the fact that Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, which it is. Thanksgiving, the day of Thanksgiving, is my favorite day of the calendar year, holiday or not. It's my favorite day of the year. Just the atmosphere, the family vibes, hopefully by that point the stress of getting all the food and getting everything is lower. You've already been to the grocery store, you're not having to make that last second run. Everyone who's traveling has already arrived safely, hopefully. So there's football on TV, there's college basketball on TV. So it's my favorite day of the year. As far as food goes, I love Thanksgiving food. My least favorite part of the Thanksgiving meal might be the turkey. And if that's the worst part of your meal, you're still doing pretty darn good. Turkey's good. Turkey's fine. It's good. You have to have it. It's a staple. I'm not a ham guy on Thanksgiving. That's strange and bizarre. Get out of here with your ham. You can have your ham on Christmas. That sounds great. Thanksgiving's for turkey. Beyond that, I'll eat anything and everything. My mother is an outrageous cook. And so she's coming to town this week and has been working the last 3 or 4 days. I've made about 12 trips to the grocery store to supplement her cooking addiction. So we're ready. We are ready to go. We've got Brussels sprout casserole, which sounds kind of weird, but no, it's the way she makes it's insane. Green bean casserole, of course. We've got mashed sweet potatoes. We've got mashed regular potatoes. We've got it's all good. My favorite has to be the pie. You can't have Thanksgiving without 4 different types of pie. And I'm not talking about
pumpkin, apple,
just like one single type of pie. You have to have 4 different options and have at least one piece of every one of them. So you've got the pumpkin pie. You have to have the pumpkin pie. You get out of here with any kind of, I will not hear any slander of pumpkin pie. It's great. It doesn't have to be your favorite, but it's good. It's good. Even bad pumpkin pie is good. Add a little whipped cream on there if it's not the greatest. Still good. You got to do that. You got to do a more chocolate pie. So we've got a peanut butter chocolate pie going there as well. And then you can throw in a couple fruit pies if you want. An apple pie is a classic. A blueberry pie. If you want to mix it up a little bit, a key lime or lemon meringue is always great. But you need to have options.
Yeah. Because
you have to have a plate full of pie, and it can't be a plate full of one pie. It needs to be a plate full of multiple pieces of pie.
That's good. I'm a traditionalist when it comes to Thanksgiving. The stuffing tends to be my favorite, but mashed potatoes, gravy, rolls. Yeah, God, anything and everything. I'm rocking and rolling with it. I know there's people who are like, eat anything on Thanksgiving. Anything can be a Thanksgiving meal. Knock yourself out. I think that's great. I want you to enjoy the day. The point is to get fat with family and watch football. FFF, right? Just do it. Get together, enjoy each other's company, or watch TV and not just rally around a common cause of sports. It's just it's great. I love it, and I want everybody to do it the way they want to, because that's the beauty of this country. You just do it however you want to do it. But I will stick to my traditions. You will stick to yours. I will say pumpkin pie. Can't beat it.
Oh, it's my favorite. I'm okay if it's not your favorite, but you still can't slander it. It's got to be there. It's got to be a staple. It's even a bad one is still a good one.
Also, like chocolate pie is so freaking good.
But pumpkin pie is the pizza of Thanksgiving foods. Even a bad pumpkin pie is still pretty good.
Very good. Well, that is going to be the show for today. Obviously, if you are traveling again, travel safe. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving. We have a day off between Thanksgiving and the game, so just spend that day wisely, enjoy it wisely, get ready to gear up for a very cold one in Columbia, Missouri. But we will get all the stuff about the game afterwards, all the post-game stuff, our commentary, gearing up for the bowl season and the transfer portal. All that's going to happen right after that, so get ready. But that's the show for today. As always, we appreciate the downloads and the subscriptions. You can leave a comment or you can rate us. We love all types of feedback from you all. You can follow us on Twitter at Matt and H.E. Edwards. He's at Burst to Hearst. And of course, you can follow the Rockin' flagship at Rockin' Nation and a podcasting outlet at Rockin' Radio. And of course, if you're a Blue Sky user, we are almost all over there at this point. So go ahead and follow us there. We appreciate you tuning in this time. We'll try to do better next time. And until then, MIZ.
ZOU.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Rock M Radio, a proud partner of Fans First Sports Network. Rock M Radio is the official podcast network of Rock M Plus, a new and exciting subscription service provided by me and the other voices of Rock M Radio. Please take a few moments to head over to rockm.plus and sign up for an account today. The cost is only $5 a month, and the benefits include access to our live podcast, a subscriber-only message board, weekly newsletters, and more. If you enjoyed this episode of Rock M Radio and would like to see more just like it beamed directly into your personal device, make sure to click the subscribe button below and tell your friends. Our podcast feed is available through the Apple Podcast app for iPhone, Google Podcast app for Android, whatever app you listen to your podcast. You can also find Rock M Radio on Spotify. If you're looking for a podcast about your favorite team that is not the Missouri Tigers, Fan First Sports Network is your answer. A full podcast network loaded with the team-specific podcasts covering Major League Baseball, the NFL, NHL, NBA, MLS, and more. And we'll be back with more episodes of Rock M Radio coming to you soon.